Hi everybody, and welcome back for another video. My name is Marie and I am consistently evolving, and today I want to talk about a little bit of a heavy topic, but it's something that needs to be discussed because there are many people in relationships that are not the healthiest, and they feel that there isn't anybody out there that will love and treat them with kindness, and so they just kind of stay, or they just feel hopeless in general. And I want to shed some light on this because everybody in life deserves love and respect and kindness, and there is somebody out there that will love and respect you. So the purpose of this video is to shed some light and hopefully encourage you, if you are in a relationship like this, to gain the strength and the courage to advocate for yourself and find somebody who will love and respect you. So let's go ahead and dive into this. And just to share a little piece of myself, I am somebody who was raised in a DV environment growing up, and it was very challenging for both my mom and myself, obviously, because I was an only child and I didn't have anybody in my life to advocate for me. But one thing that experience did give me is the clarity into seeing how these patterns play out and how they repeat. And that is the first thing that I want to discuss, is that whenever somebody finds themselves repeatedly in a DV situation, whether it's with the same person or maybe they even leave the relationship hoping to find something better, and then they land in the same exact relationship dynamic just with a new face, that it is a pattern. And a lot of it is tied to, and this is going to be a different perspective I don't really hear a lot of people talk about, but it's one of the things that has been the most impactful in my life, and that is changing the relationship with myself. But before I digress too much, one of the biggest patterns that I see when it comes to people who are in those relationship dynamics, if they are on the receiving end of it, is that they might struggle with holding boundaries, advocating for themselves, using their voice, commanding respect, because that's so important. Respect for ourselves and respect for each other. But oftentimes when we end up with people who also don't have any boundaries and are on the other end of the spectrum, where they are very controlling and they don't know how to control their emotions and they blame everybody, they take it out on those who also don't have boundaries. So it's really important that if you want to break this pattern, that you do look within to kind of work through why you might struggle to have a voice, why you might struggle to hold boundaries. And also part of it might be subconsciously that maybe you believe you deserve treatment like that, and that just isn't true. As I mentioned earlier in the video, everybody deserves love and respect. It doesn't matter who you are. And if anybody is treating you like that, it's definitely not normal, and you do deserve better than that. The second pattern that I see in people who are repeatedly in DV relationships is that I think eventually their mind kind of has them believing that that is normal, that that's just how relationships are, that you're meant to be treated like garbage, that you're meant to be disrespected, that you deserve it, and you really don't. As I mentioned, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I really hope that this clicks with somebody, that you deserve love and respect, and nobody has the right to treat you the way that they are if they're putting you down and they're making you feel less than. A healthy relationship with somebody is having a partner that will actually love you and build you up and treat you with kindness and respect, and actually wants to see you shine brighter. They're not trying to control you. They're not trying to shrink your world. They're not trying to do any of that stuff. They're there to love and nurture you. And relationships like that do exist. So if you currently have the belief that you deserve treatment like that, I highly encourage you to reconsider that and work on loving yourself first, so that way you can eventually get to a point where you will find somebody that will love and respect you. But one of the common themes that I do see in domestic violent relationships is that all of them have a cycle. They all have a cycle, and it all starts with the person who is very controlling. And maybe I will actually make a separate video of this at some point, of what the signs are when somebody is actually trying to control, abuse, or manipulate, because there are a lot of clear signals and they're all the same for the most part. There might be a few different changes, nuances among the patterns, but virtually they're all the same. And I think that education is super important, but more importantly, it's working on the relationship with yourself so that you love yourself and respect yourself enough to not entertain partnerships with people who don't love and respect you. And I do just want to mention, because so often I think that people hold the belief that these sorts of relationships are primarily with, you know, the man abusing the woman. But I do just want to mention that it does go both ways. And there are women out there that do abuse their men as well, but as a society, it's not as acceptable. So I think that we have a tendency to kind of ignore it. But I do just want to mention that it happens to everybody. It doesn't matter what gender you are, and everybody deserves love and respect. So if you find yourself repeatedly in these relationships, I encourage you to look within and heal the relationship that you have with yourself. If you need guidance with this and you really want to dig deep and break the patterns and find a partnership that will actually love and respect you, my True Love Masterclass does exactly this, and you can find the registration for it on my channel, and I can also link it below this video. I really hope that this helps somebody today, and I will see you all in next week's video.